Are fathers necessary? That's the title of Dennis Prager's latest viral video. Take a listen.
For all of recorded history, the need to explain why fathers are necessary would have been regarded as, well, unnecessary. It would have been like explaining why water or air is necessary. But we live at a time in which the obvious is routinely denied.
And he's right. The fact that this video even has to be made shows just how insane the left has become. Just check out some of these headlines. The Huffington Post says fathers are not needed. The Atlantic and the New York Times are also questioning what fathers are for. Meanwhile, Black Lives Matter says they are, quote, disrupting the Western prescribed nuclear family structure. Here to discuss the ramifications of breaking up the traditional family and downplaying fatherhood is founder and of Prager University and host of the Dennis Prager Show, Dennis Prager. Dennis, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you. You really got the point. I salute you. And I don't normally salute the people interviewing me, but you got it. The fact that it has to be made
thank you.
Is a commentary on our time.
You know, some of the percentages that I saw on this were astounding, and I want to read them for our audience. The percentage of children being born to single mothers has skyrocketed, going from just 5%, that was in 1960, to 41% today, Dennis. And it's even more pronounced among African-American children, 25% back in 1965 to 73% today. So where is this problem stemming from?
It's stemming from the culture and from the government. The culture is what ultimately moves people. And the idea arose beginning with the 60s that, well, for example, you may not be old enough to remember this phrase, but you may be aware of it. A feminist phrase, a woman without a man is like a fish without a bicycle, which, by the way, is hilarious. I fully acknowledge it's a very funny line. It's also particularly stupid. A woman without a man is not a fish without a bicycle. I am as certain as I am that I am speaking to you that women need men and men need women. To have said that 50, 500, 1,000, 2,000 years ago would have been greeted with a yawn. Today, that is almost a reactionary in people's minds. What? A woman doesn't need anything. A particularly stupid notion, and same with a man. Man doesn't need a woman. He needs a video game. So we are living as in the after effects of that cultural notion. The other is the government. The government said to women, you don't need a man to support you and your child. We, the state, will do it for you. And that combination, the culture and the politics, have been disastrous.
You know, it is interesting to me because even former President Barack Obama, he talked about the critical role of a father and the role that they play in a speech. That was back in 2018. I want to play a clip of that.
Too many fathers are AWOL, missing from too many lives and too many homes. Nowhere is it more true than in the African-American community. We know that more than half of all black children live in single-parent households. Children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime. They're 9 times more likely to drop out of school, 20 times more likely to end up in prison.
You know, Dennis, some of these statistics are staggering. Why hasn't this caught on, the need for a father?
The first statistic that I need to cite is the date of that talk, 2008. 2008 might as well be 1433. That is how big the gap is between now and even 5. That's 13 years ago, but even 5 years ago. The acceptance of the culture of what the media tells them and what the universities tell them is frightening. People are literally brainwashed. If I may just divert for one moment, my field of study was communist affairs. That's what it was called. There were very few majors in that at Columbia when I was there, but there were 7 others, I recall. And I read Pravda, the Soviet communist newspaper, every day. That's why I learned Russian. And I was convinced that the only way a press could brainwash a society is in a dictatorship. And the last couple of years have proven me wrong. A supposition I had had all of my life was simply wrong. A press in a free society can brainwash a society. People don't, what he just said could not be said today by a president of the United States. That this afflicts, the fatherlessness is a curse in black life. A black president could say it in 2008, and no one could say it today unless they're on your network or mine, where people will get a lot more truth than from the New York Times.
Okay, so if this is the state we find ourselves in today, which it is, how do we reverse this problem? How do we get back to the focus being on the nuclear family?
It's an extremely difficult question. It is unbelievably easier to blow up a dike than to build one. And the floodwaters come in. How do you drain the flood? It can be done, and it has to be done culturally and politically. If the causes are cultural and political, then the solutions are cultural and political. We have to announce, with the same affirmation that the left makes its affirmations, that the nuclear family is the ideal family. This is not a statement of contempt for single parents. It is not a statement of contempt for gay parents. It is just a fact. The ideal family is a healthy mother, father who are married to one another and have their children after they get married. This is so obvious as to boggle the mind that it is now controversial. However, that's the cultural. And the political, forgive me, the political is you don't subsidize people without who have children out of wedlock.
Right. You want to reward the nuclear family, not do the opposite,
Right.
which we are doing now. Dennis, thank you for being here. Thank you for shedding light on this issue in our society. And I hope that people do watch your video and gain awareness to this issue. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.